So I'm going to be using my basic bodice pattern to draft out my cowl top, and I'll use this pattern to cut both the front and the back. This cowl top will not have a zipper. So this is my chest line, this is my bust line, this is my waist, and this is my top length. I've also taken my horizontal measurements. The dimensions or the measurement for the neck width is 3 inches by 1 inch depth, and of course I have my shoulder slope of 1 inch, and then my armhole 8 inches, and I curved it to meet here. At this point I came up by 1 inch and connected it to the middle of the top, just so that this edge here is not looking so sharp. So I'm just going to cut this out now and place it on our actual fabric so that we can proceed cutting our cowl top. This fabric moves a lot, so it's advisable that you hold it down before cutting. Now this is what we have for the back pattern. I'm going to cut a facing for this, but I will do that later. So moving on to the front piece, I have my fabric here, and I'm also going to give it a good fold. But before I do that, I want to create some manipulations on this pattern. So at the point of my chest line, okay, I'm just going to come up by 1 inch. I'm going to come up by 1 inch like this. So I just extended this line, which is me coming up 1 inch above my chest line or my armhole line. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to slash and spread this. So I'm slashing, but I'll make sure that I don't get to the end of the paper, and even if you do, you can always use your masking tape to hold this in place. After slashing, this is what I have. Okay, so I'm placing my paper or my fabric here. I'm also going to leave 1 inch for the bending allowance, and then of course, depending on the wideness or the depth of the cowl effect you want, I don't want to go beyond 7.5 inches. So this is 7.5 inches. I made a marking here, okay, and this is 7.5 inches here. All right, so I'm just going to extend the top part here to make sure it meets the 7.5 inches. So you can hold this down whilst you extend your paper. So now I have it well opened up. I left 1/2 inch here for the bottom allowance, and this point here is at 7.5 inches, which is just perfect for me. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut this out. So at this point, you have to note that you're coming this way, sort of, okay? You're giving it like a straight effect here. So this is where I'm cutting from. All right, so I'm going to just do this. Okay, and then I'll follow the neckline of the back. Recollect I said I'm using the same neckline for the front and the back. So this is what it looks like, okay? To cut the facing for the front pattern, you also need a fabric that's as wide as this side of your front piece, okay? and you just want to make sure that it's at least as low as up to your armhole area, and this is about 11 inches, but I'm going to be cutting on 12 inches. Okay, because by the time I hold it here, I'm also going to hold it at the bottom, then we'll have 11 inches at the end of the day. So from here, I'm just going to measure 12 inches. Okay, actually that's where I placed it, and then I'm just going to adjust it properly to make sure it aligns. And then yes, we can proceed to cutting it out. So now I have the facing for the front. I'm just going to take this straight up to the sewing machine, and then right sides facing each other. This is the shoulder area. I'm going to run a stitch all the way from here to here. So I will actually leave the shoulder area open because I'll have to turn it with the back pattern. Haven't given it a good press. This is what the facing side of the front piece looks like, and then this is what the right side looks like as well. I also pressed down the back piece, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing we're going to be doing is joining both the front and the back piece together. Okay, I like to join my sides first before I join my sleeve area or my shoulder area. So I'll take this to the sewing machine. I left an allowance of 1 inch, so I'm just going to pair it together, and then I will run a 1 inch sewing allowance, 1 inch sewing stitch here, and also run a 1 inch sewing stitch here. And also I will fold the bottom of this top just to cover up the rough edges here. I'm done joining the sides, and I also hemmed the bottom part. So next thing is joining the shoulder area, and of course, as you can see, is right side facing right side. And what you want to do is take one shoulder piece. So because it has a facing, this is 2 pieces here, and because this has a facing for the back, this is 2 pieces. So I'm just going to take this side right and place it that way, and take the back piece, okay, right side facing right side, and just match them up together, okay, and use the facing of the back. Okay, I'm using the facing of the back now to turn the front, and then I will run a stitch to hold all 4 pieces down. So okay, now so this is it. I went ahead to seal it off. I held both the back and the front pieces together, and this is what it looks like. Very neat. Of course, I'm going to weave all the loose sides, and also this is the time for you to attach your sleeve if you're going to be using a sleeve, or just pipe it with a bias. And then our cowl neck top is ready. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments also and suggestions. If there are any other tutorials you'd like for me to put up, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. Till my next video. Bye bye.